What do I like most about living in Cornwall? The people, the countryside, the temperature, just the general way of life, I suppose.
It is the most natural looking county, I guess, really, isn't it? You've got the sea everywhere, you've got lots and lots of woodlands, loads of beaches.
It's just so unique, the look of it, everything about Cornwall, the cliffs, the ocean, and then I think, wow, this is where I've grown up, where I live now.
The sea isn't like far away at all, so I can just walk like down from my house and it doesn't even take a 2-minute walk.
I'm going to go over some questions, asking a few questions. It's pretty simple questions, and then I'll probably just put like footage over the top of it.
I mean, I've lived in my whole life. It's a funny one because I take things for granted about Cornwall a lot, but then it's when I go out on like a long walk or I just go to a place of natural beauty.
Yeah, cliff jumping in Pearl Sands or going for dog walks.
I've got a funny one. So once I was about to jump off Highball, it was my first time, and there was this boy waiting in the water for me, and I kept looking over to see if it was clear, and once I did it too much and I lost my balance and I belly flopped off Highball, and it was my first time.
Quite often used to go up with my gran and like take photos of sunsets and stuff. She was an artist, so she would like draw. There was one flower she loved was sea thrifts, the sea pinks. So I always like seeing those when I got up there.
It's important that it supports the local economy. People could come down on holidays. It would create employment for an area where there isn't much employment. Yeah, anything which provides jobs for the local people would be a good thing.
Ice cream is what my mind goes to. Yeah, just a lot of the Cornish products, I feel like. Maybe celebrating things that have come out of Cornwall in the more recent future, like, say, Roskillies.
Like a really popular Cornish food, like maybe a pasty or something like that.
Definitely the wildlife, especially out on the Lizard Peninsula. So an education centre. I'd love something like a bird lookout.
A bit of an educational space. You're going to want to see what you're being educated about, aren't you?
Something interactive, some kind of interactive learning sort of thing.
Not a skyscraper, low rise, and be in harmony in keeping with buildings which are in the area already. Perhaps built with local materials, i.e. probably made of Cornish granite.
Slate, because that's like what we use, like granite as well.
If I was designing it, I would want some wood, some timber. Also incorporate the granite, and even out there's some serpentine. Because it's so unique. I think there's only 2 places in the country are unique with the serpentine stone, granite, wood and serpentine.
I think you've got to sort of grab the views, basically. Really high windows, a very light building, a very glass-fronted building, a sort of 180-degree look, so you can see everything from the right to the left. sound of the seagulls.
The seagulls.
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 Seagulls is Cornwall.
Birds in general, I suppose. Definitely, like, mostly the sea, though, I think.
Yeah, the sounds of the sea, perhaps.
There's nothing nicer than the waves hitting the beach, and you have that rumble of the waves coming and it's dragging all the pebbles back.
Somewhere so remote and so beautiful and peaceful, and all I can hear is the wind in the trees and the seals are arving off the sea. You know, that's beautiful in its sense. There's no aeroplanes, there's none of that, the other stuff that will just drown out the natural environment.
An isolated point, isolated from all noise.
But music.
This place nestled in a spot.
Resting on the peninsula. Quiet from the world.
But abundant in nature.
The crashing waves and the chirps of birds.
Together, synchronised to form a musical performance.
These persisting noises.
Repeating in a cycle.
Rotating in nature.
To form what is a song of Dean Point.
An isolated point.
Isolated from all noise.
But music.